Hi Tarot Tribe, it's Ethany, and welcome to part 3 on getting your tarot business started and my tips and my advice on how to do so. So if you haven't watched the first 2, I do invite you to go and have a look at those, as this is a series that goes in progression from basically getting started all the way through. Like everything that I do, nothing I say here is gospel. I invite you to take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This advice can be used for oracle card readers, angel card readers, healers, energy workers, and many other spiritual entrepreneurial businesses as well. I use the tarot as my main spiritual tool and run a tarot business, so this is the perspective on which I speak. So in the last video, I talked about choosing a business model and ran through online versus working face-to-face, the pros and cons, etc. And this week, in this video, I'm going to be discussing some pretty interesting topics. People have some stuff around a couple of these. Defining your offers and then pricing. So this is what I feel is your next step once you've decided on your business model. I have a worksheet for you on pricing and mapping out your offers. So I do want you to go, well, you can go and grab it at ethany.com if you want to take notes. And it also has space for you to answer the questions that I go through when we talk about defining your offers. And then doing something that I feel that is really important when you write down your pricing. I feel like having it rattling around in your head can be one thing, but then when you write it down and you confirm it, it's certainly such an empowering step to take in your business. The link for the worksheet will also be below in the comments. So let's have a look at defining your offers. So I recommend and believe that a really good place to start is defining and mapping out 3 to 5 offers for your business. So these offers are your readings, your healings, your products, anything that you're going to take to your clients, your community, your tribe, and offer to them to take up. And I have 3 rules for this for myself when I'm creating offers for my business. 1, keep it simple. 2, have range and depth. And 3, refine later. So let's have a look at the first staple. Keep it simple. So there's no need to get overwhelmed before you even get started. Simple is a blessing, and that's why I say 3 to 5. If you try to do too many at the start, it can get really convoluted. You're probably going to stretch yourself too thin. You won't get any experience and foundations on the things that really ought to be kind of the staples of your business. So that's why 3 to 5 is good. And when you're mapping out the 3 to 5, you want to keep it simple still. So, I mean, I don't know many people who want to read a ton of text when it comes to an offer that you have. A sales page is different to having an offer. So when we're looking at, people's tarot readings or what they're offering is for healings, yes, you want what you write about it to be informative, but you also want it to be simple. There's no need to make it war and peace. So that's my first little gem there, is to keep it simple, my first rule. Now my second rule is to have range and depth. So this also touches on pricing, but it's important to note when you're mapping out what you're going to offer your clients. So what exactly do I mean by range? Well, let's have a look at my business. So I have a 1-question tarot reading for under $30. I then have a subject-specific readings for $47. So they include career coaching and relationship readings and things like that. And then I have larger, more in-depth readings from $70 to $90. And with this range in my business, each of the offers that I mentioned, I give different things to my clients in each one. It caters for different things that they are looking for and their specific situations. The reports they will get will be different. Obviously a one question reading is going to be a shorter report than a full 12-month reading, things like that. And, depth means that you have to really give that value. You have to really have something that is going to resonate and that your clients actually want. I really believe that having an offer that is like an entry-level experience for your clients is a really good idea. It builds trust. I don't believe you can just have a top-heavy business when you just start out and wonder why people aren't buying from you. Even if the product is really good, if you only have a $500 product and you've not built a relationship with your clients, it can be really hard to get them to trust you enough to part with that much money. People who do charge higher rates have good track records. They've given a lot to their tribe, they have built their businesses, and they have done the groundwork. They've been through the growth and been through the progression. Maybe it is possible to just offer that, to offer something large, just offer things over just $200 and to build a budding business. However, that has not been my experience, and it hasn't been the experience of my colleagues who run successful businesses either. And then the third rule I have about refining later. So sometimes the thing that we think is going to be really popular gets absolutely no traction, and the one offer that you thought was going to be a flop totally takes off. You can't refine what you don't have out there, and you can't refine what you don't have the data on. You need to start and see what happens and take it from there. Perfect. I have more than 5 offers for my clients, but it's taken me years to refine, and I've added and taken away too. If something doesn't align with me anymore, if something isn't speaking to my tribe, if it's causing me blood, sweat, and tears and no longer filling me with joy, you know what? It goes. So that's my last point, my last rules for what I do when I'm looking at mapping an offer out. So here are the questions that some of them are in the worksheet for you that I would love you to take into consideration when you're building your offers for your business. So the first one is, what is your offer? Are you offering a specific type of reading? What does that include for your client? If you had to tell someone in one sentence what your offer is, could you do that? So a very important reason for this is if it's muddy for you, if it's confusing to you, and if you don't know what you're offering, it's going to be just as unclear for your potential clients. And clarity is key when you're selling or when you're offering something to somebody. They want to know what they're getting. Your next question is, what problem am I solving, or how am I helping my client? So your offer has to help. So you need to get clear on this so you can really aid in sharing your work with the world. You need to know what it is that you're doing for the people who are coming to you with their problem and giving you their cold hard cash. The next question is, how is this offer different or unique to what is already on the market? So I hear this a lot from people, especially from readers, angel card readers, oracle readers, tarot readers. There are a lot of us out there, and a lot of what we can offer can be quite similar. There are only so many ways that you can do certain things. There's so many ways that you can do healings and things like that. But even if it's your gift and your experience, your point of view and your skill, that is what's different and unique. Nobody else has that. Nobody else has your perspective on things. Nobody else has your background, your experience, your expertise. So claim that, and it's okay to claim that if you feel like that is the only unique different thing about what you offer. If you can make it different in another way, then that's amazing. You can add little flavors to it. You can change things up. It can be seasonal, whatever it is. But even if it's just you, that's still a unique perspective that you bring to the market. Your next question is, how much time will it take to complete? So if you don't know, run a test reading or healing session in exchange for a testimonial. So I'm a huge fan of test runs and practice readings. It allows you to fine-tune your craft and get any templates that you need set up, get your rituals sorted, and also testimonials are total gold. So don't ever hesitate when you're starting to do this so that you can iron out the kinks and get some testimonials from your potential clients. And I know from experience that I've given away free readings and things like that, and then I've had these people return as paying clients and also refer me to their friends. So that's even better. The next question is, how many of this would you like to do in a week? Now, it may seem like a weird question, but sometimes we have an idea of how many readings or healing sessions we want to do in a week, or how many teaching sessions we want to do for yoga, etc. But when it comes down to the day in and day out, your reality can shift quite a lot. You don't want to overload yourself to the point of burnout. And this also relates to pricing, because if you price yourself too low, this is a risk that you run. Absolutely. And I know this from many people's experiences. A slow burn in business is much better than a firework. I'm going to make that something you can tweet out. It's so true. I would much rather have a business that is steady, that is on a slow burn, it's simmering away, it's going really nicely, than have a firework go off every 3 to 6 weeks. That sounds super stressful to me. And it's okay if you make a mistake in regards to how many you want to do a week, or if you price it incorrectly, because it's all a part of the refining process, which you can do at any time. Another question that you're going to have to ask yourself, what are the costs involved? So are you going to need to rent space? Do you need materials? Do you need tools? Do you need training? What hourly rate would you like to have as an income? And I say that because that could be different to pricing, because you may have a product that's also involved in your practice, or you may be able to, for example, do a couple of things in an hour, or you may have 90-minute blocks or something, so therefore your hourly rate would have to be incorporated in your cost analysis. So there are some questions that I'm sure I've missed out, but I feel like these are some really good places that you can start, and some of them that I feel are really vital. And I do invite you to do this process for each of your offers, and you can use the information that you gather through this process to help you write your copy for your site or your store. So now we're going to talk about the loaded gun subject of pricing. Need to take a deep breath before we get into this one. Now, there are tons of videos and articles about pricing everything. There are articles about pricing for healings and readings and classes and products, and every person has an opinion. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again and again. Price what you're comfortable with. No one's going to hold a gun to your head and make you do something that you're not comfortable with in your own business. That's one of the really great things about having your own business. This is a really personal thing. I, for one, know I value my time, my years of experience, my energy, and I don't undercut myself. There are a ton of people that fall over this in the spiritual entrepreneurial business because they have a real stuck mentality about money. I mean, if you ever work with me for like coaching or whatever it is in regards to getting through your blocks, I will hone in on this Like it's chocolate hidden in my apartment. I will find it if you have a block around money. So it's a lot of the time you can just know just by checking in, and when you look at writing down those prices on your worksheet, how does it make you feel? It can be a really interesting experience for you. I know for me, I don't go to a professional of any other job and don't think that they don't deserve to be paid. I of course think they deserve to be paid. So I pay them, and you're no different. Remember, what you charge is set by you. So this means you can increase it or change it later. I see a lot of people I honestly feel are undercharging, and I've seen some who, I feel are overcharging, but who cares? I really wanted to like swear quite expletively in there, but I am not going to. But who really does care? It's just my opinion. You have to feel good about it, and that's all that matters. So for each of these offers that you've mapped out, you just have to decide, how do you feel, and what do you feel is a good match for your experience and your knowledge and your time, and then put it down on paper, and then play with it a little bit if you want to. Heck, if you need everything to round up, like add to the numerological number of 8, then do that too. I don't know what your process is. Do what you do. So once you have all these things, you can look at setting yourself up, and that is what the next video is all about. But this is how we are going to finish today. So I hope that this has given you some things to think about in regards to defining your offers and also about pricing. I want to hear from you now. I want to know what you want to learn about running a spiritual entrepreneurial business and a tarot business or a healing business or a yoga teaching business. Let me know so I can make a video for you. And if you're running a business or about to launch a spiritual business, I would like to invite you to join me on the 20th of February for a mastermind training session. It's called Your Ideal Clients and Where to Find Them. And it's only $13, and you get lifetime access for all the training and the workbook as well. The link is below. So thank you so much for joining me for part 3 of starting your tarot business, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And if you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel.